Hello, today's course lesson is on the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. In it we will be discussing a little bit of the history, meaning, and application of this Statement of Rights. After the Revolutionary War, the establishment of an independent government was extremely difficult and required much discussion about what laws to include to protect the rights of citizens and limit the control of government. A group of founding fathers, among them James Madison and Thomas Jefferson, favored establishing amendments to the original Constitution that allowed for this. When passed in 1791, the first 10 of these amendments became known as the Bill of Rights, and the First Amendment became known as the Establishment Clause. To begin with, let's break down the three parts of the First Amendment and what it protects. The beginning reads, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof." What this means is that the government cannot say a religion is more important than others, nor can it prevent American citizens from practicing a religion. The next portion of the amendment states that the government cannot abridge the freedom of speech or of the press. What this means is the government is technically not allowed to make any laws that tell people what they can and cannot say, or tell the media what it can and cannot report in the news. The third portion of the text says that our lawmakers cannot prevent the right of the people to peaceably assemble or petition the government for a redress of grievances. What this means is that people have a right to gather in groups so long as they are not violent, and also be heard if they feel the government has wronged them. Now, to start with the first aspect in modern times, this right here is a study by the Pew Center for Religious Studies, and this is a breakdown of religions in the United States. As you can see, we are still technically primarily Christian, but there are many other alternative religions currently in place. Now, when this was originally established, this may not have been what the founding fathers intended, but what I think still holds true today is a letter that Thomas Jefferson sent to a small group of Baptists out of Danbury in 1802 who were concerned that their religious freedom would not be respected. Thomas Jefferson stated that, "Believing with you that religion is a matter which lies solely between man and his God, that he owes account to none other for his faith or his worship, that the legitimate powers of government reach actions only, and not opinions, I contemplate with sovereign reverence that act of the whole American people which declared that their legislature should make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, thus building a wall of separation between church and state." Now, in modern times, there are examples of free speech that could be considered hateful or disliked, and what's currently going on is this church, the Westboro Baptist Church, which you may have heard of, and how they gather at military funerals and hold up signs that offend people. As much as many people may not like it, they are exercising their rights, but it is also the right of the people to counter their arguments. Examples of freedom of the press have included in the past publishing information of the government that has been held secret from the people. The most famous of this was the publishing of the Pentagon Papers, which revealed that the United States government was not revealing how the Vietnam War was going to the public in the 1960s and 70s. A more controversial aspect of this freedom was the publishing of top-secret military videos and documents about the war in Afghanistan on a website called WikiLeaks, founded by an Australian, Julian Assange. Now, WikiLeaks may be a different example, and because the founder of this international group is Australian, it doesn't necessarily fall under the First Amendment, but it's currently a questionable case for that. An example of the right to peaceably assemble and redress grievances has become for us today free speech zones. At political rallies, in an attempt to keep peace, groups of people who disagree at political rallies are put in these zones separate from those who agree, and are still allowed to protest. This has sparked a lot of controversy as to whether it really honors the right to peaceably assemble in what is known as the public forum. Well, that about wraps up this presentation. Here's a list of picture sources and where to find Thomas Jefferson's letter to the Danbury Baptists online. And here is a list of other sources regarding extra information on the Westboro Baptist Church, WikiLeaks, and the Pentagon Papers. This article on the Westboro Baptist Church actually is still a pending case in the Supreme Court because they're currently being sued for obviously protesting military funerals. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.